Right. So welcome everyone. If you are just listening, this is it, our founders meeting, and we are about to get started. Let us welcome our dear admin. Greetings to you, admin. Welcome.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the founders meeting for March 6th. Today is the the shared bounty payout day. So that's I'm going to try and keep this call a little bit short today because I've got a lot of work to do before I head out of town. Going to a wedding where I'm officiating, and it's going to be pretty exciting. It's going to be my first time doing that, and I'm looking forward to it. So today is our shared bounty collection day, and I want to go over a little bit about the shared bounty. I think a lot of us have been in the know, and we've been getting educated on how the shared bounty works. And I want to make sure that everyone knows what to expect. Specifically, we didn't hit our goals. I'll show you how we didn't hit them, and I'll show you, how that's important for our next month. And we'll go through some issues that have come up in the Telegram chat. Those issues, I think, that we can resolve. And I'm really excited about the information that I found out, and I want to go over that with everyone as well. And then the last thing I want to go over is what's going to happen when we hit that 10,000 member mark. What to expect, what kind of exciting activities are going to be going on when that happens. So the first thing I want to do, I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to go into the dashboard. All right, we see my screen here. Yes, okay, sir. So on our dashboard, we have a new little widget at the top of the screen that tells us we've got our SBC active member count, which is bouncing around 5,000. I really need to see that go up each day instead of going down. It kind of goes up and down and up and down. Then we have our current agent liquidity pool. So we've made some changes to the donation pool, and you're allowed to donate as much as you want, as many times as you want, in increments of up to $10. So you can donate $10, you can donate $20, you can donate $100, and 1/10 of that goes to each of the 10 agents that you assign. They get your donation, and your reward for that is 2 times your donation in SBFC. Now, one thing that might not be very clear that I tried to make clear when I announced this is that agents are going to be able to exchange their SBFC for USDT. They're going to be able to do that when our agent liquidity pool reaches 1,000 USDT. As an agent and an active agent, meaning that your account's active, you'll be able to do that exchange. It's $10 a day until the liquidity pool has been exhausted. As a donor, you can also do that. So, previously, admin Jack didn't want recycling of funds or whatnot going on in there. I don't see that that's a relevant issue. So if you're a donor, you can also be an agent. If you're an agent, you can be a donor and take advantage of that pool. So as that pool moves around, first come, first serve on the funds that are in there, but you're only going to be able to do $10 per day until the liquidity pool has been exhausted, until it builds back up. So that's an important note to keep track of as far as the donation system goes. We will be doing some more work with the agents in the donation pool. That was just the quick and easy way for me to make changes. And as you can see, the donation pool used to be, we were only receiving, sometimes $10 or $20 every couple of days in the donation pool, but now it is up to 190, and it's going up. So let's just focus on donations if you can. Remember, donations are not obligatory, meaning you are not obliged or you are not required to do a donation. But however, if you are an agent and want to do an exchange, you are just required to be an active agent. We've also zeroed out the agent's donations. So if we go and we look at the agent's donations, we've zeroed those numbers out. Back on November 12th, 2023, I paid out all of the agents that had earned SBFC at that time. So all those agents that were active at that time received their SBFC. And again, on March 12th, I'm going to do it again. So on March 12th, we are going to pay out all of the agents for whatever they earned between November 12th and the in the current amount that's there. So those numbers are not reflected in your agents on the contribution side. So you'll see that the numbers have changed to 0 for everyone. Some agents have $1, others have other amounts, but we do have a record of what those previous donations were, and those will be paid out. It's just important to remember that not all agents receive donations, and not all agents received any donations after the payout was made. So if you're an active agent and you didn't get anything back from SBFC back when it was November 12th, it's likely because you weren't active then. But if you're active now, you'll receive everything that was in your donation pool at that time. So very important to become an active agent. What you will need to do is go to, I'm going to go back to the dashboard, go to account, and then go to your account, and then you can register to become an agent there. It requires 2 SBFC for you to be an active agent. And if you need to acquire SBFC, you can acquire it from another agent. You can send it to someone else, or you can come to our exchange and you can buy it right here. So when our agent exchange to USDT is active, there will be another item in this exchange side. So at this point right here, if you are looking for getting some SBFC to become an agent, you can do it here, or you can get it from any other active agent or donor. Also, honestly, it's if you donate to any of the agents, you're going to receive twice as much as your donation in SBFC. So for a $30 donation, you'll receive $60 in SBFC, which is exactly 2 SBFC, and that's enough for you to become an agent. So little secrets and tricks to getting some success in our site. So back to our dashboard. I want to focus on our shared bounty numbers. We have 3582 participated in last month's, and we had 2278 participate in this month. So what ended up happening was a lot of our agents, over 1,000 of them, or not agents, or a lot of our shared bounty qualified members, over 1,000 of them had fallen off. Now, does that mean that you're going to get less in your shared bounty payout? Not necessarily. It doesn't necessarily mean that. So what's going to end up happening is the agents that did not qualify aren't going to receive any of the shared bounty that was collected, and they won't have any of that distributed to them. However, the 2278 members are going to have an allocation sent to them. Now, also keep in mind that if you're new, if this is your first or your second month, in this particular case, because we did not reach our goals, it might even be, if it's your third month participating in shared bounty, you may not receive very much, or you may not receive anything at all. It depends on where you are in the matrix, and it depends on how that green leaf tree fills in. I am going to supplement this time again with SBFC, and the reason for that is because I have a firm belief in the agent donation program that we can start exchanging with the donations that are coming in, and getting some people reinterested and reinvigorated in SBFC. And I also believe that with the news that I personally learned yesterday, I think that we can overcome a lot of the challenges that we have in our community. So focusing on the Shared Bounty program, there is a new item, and one of our privy members, Augustine, went through and had a 45-minute video with a very passionate story, particularly from the Bible. I had said to him, it's been a long time since I sat in a church and heard that story. It's not one of the ones that comes up very often when our pastor comes in and says, we're going to talk about this story, we're going to talk about that story whenever he gives his sermon. But that story was very impactful to me. It was one of my favorite stories, one of the ones that I always remembered, because there's so many notable characters from the Bible, notable not characters, but notable people from the Bible that interacted that way. So if you have the chance, the video is posted on the blog. Please watch that video. You'll get an understanding of SBC and the Shared Bounty program from that. And as you can see, we have a new presentation. This was done by one of our engineers, and Edmund. So he's put this presentation together as a way to easily, a PowerPoint presentation that easily helps you understand what's going on with SBFC. Now, there are a couple of things that are a little bit outdated, so I'll just go through it real quick. SBC means a simply brilliant community. That is us as a community. SBC is also the Share Bounty concept. So they both have the same 3-letter acronym, but they do mean one is a community and one is just a concept. It's a supplemental program that we're offering. SBC is not a coin that will be traded on the open market. SBC is not your typical crypto. So any members that are saying, oh, we're going to exchange SBC for Naira or USD or Chinese yuan or anything like that, in a way you will, but you're not going to exchange SBC specifically in the public. You're going to exchange SBC in the private. It's a private coin. It will be treated as private and will never be on the open market and will never be tradable out there in that way. Our private bank is going to have technology built behind it that takes the SBC and converts it to the public system by sending into your bank account, to a credit card, to whatever form of public banking you require in order to use your SBC funds. And those SBC funds are valued in a grain of gold. 1 grain of gold is a little over $4 right now. And that's the standard that SBC will be. So one SBC equals 1 grain of gold. Members can earn or collect more coins by referring more people in the community. It's a users-based coin that can help humanity globally. That's very true. And that's one of the primary goals of SBC from the very beginning when it was TBC. So as contributing to the SBCBO, you're going to receive 200 SBC coins. Right now, that is 1,000 SBC coins, and I will run that promo for as long as that promo is viable. The most important thing is that we're trying to encourage new members, because we've already felt the defeat of trying to re-engage old members. But I think I have, again, one of the things that I want to talk about is I found a way to re-engage the old members and a way for you to cut through all the noise when you're talking to one of the old members. So 1,000 SBC coins is what you'll receive for the month of March. There were some people who thought that they were supposed to receive it on March 1st. That was not the case. This is for March. So your KCBO, whether you do the SBC full or whether you do the SBC light, you'll receive 1,000 SBC coins at the end of this month. And if you refer any new recruits, they will also receive 1,000 SBC coins plus another 1,000. So as a one-time bonus, as a sign-on bonus, so to speak, they will receive an additional 1,000. So brand new members are going to receive 2,000 SBC coins, and their sponsors who brought in the brand new member will receive 1,000 coins for each new member that they bring in. So there's a very good chance to earn quite a few SBC coins. And keep in mind, they are worth $4 a piece, a little bit over $4 a piece. And that will certainly help you stabilize your life when the SBC private bank launches. We already went over this. Instant bounty. So as you pay your SBC BO and you are a shared bounty participant, so you're doing the SBC full, your sponsor will receive $10 for being your for you being their referral. So they'll receive $10, and you're also welcome to go out and get referrals for yourself. A couple of weeks ago, we went through the process of how to do that. So there's the document that's on the dashboard, what to do on day one, shows you how to go through and make your payment, shows you how to go through and register your bounty address. It goes through and tells you how to complete your profile, and then finally to go out and share your KCBO link or SBCBO link with other members, and they will come in under you, and you will be their sponsor. They will be a referral. All we ask is, if you're going to become a sponsor, is to do the work, to take the time to explain to your referral exactly what they need to do, show them the dashboard, show them where this is what to do on day one, so that they can replicate the process that you are participating in yourself. So one of the things that came up again in our Telegram chat yesterday is, I continually hear, we've been paying for 8 years and everything like that. Now, I understand that you've been paying for 8 years, and you've been paying for 8 years for a lot of different programs, a lot of different rewards, a lot of different promos. There's been a lot of encouragement in the past for you to pay that KCBO fee in the past, and the SBCBO fee in the future. What I need everyone to understand is that operationally, this isn't a free operation. Nobody is working for free to build the SBC private bank. The SBC wallet didn't get built by people who are working for free. The support the team doesn't work for free. For me to be able to put everything together and for me to pay all the bills, it's not free. So contributing to SBC in the fairest minimums through the SBC Lite program helps ensure that you're a part of the program when the program activates. When we go live with our SBC private bank, you are going to be there, being one of the first people in line to receive the technology that we are going to be utilizing for the execution of this bank. There are a couple of things that have to happen first, and we'll discuss those a little bit later. But by contributing to the SBC BO, you are helping to keep us operational. We are gathering members. We are building up to a decent sized community that our sponsors are ready and willing to engage us and start the process of private banking, private society. Private society is probably not really the right term, but more of a private community. That private community will build itself into a reputable community that can then have a banking system. So I'll go through that as we go through a little bit later, but just understand that contributing to the SBC BO, although it's not mandatory, if you can't afford it, I understand. There are members who can, and you can also find referrals underneath you that can help you afford your SBC BO. We give you the tools to go out and recruit someone. Right now, it takes about 3 members underneath you to help you get your SBC BO taken care of. And those members have to participate in the shared bounty program in order to pay out bounty. but we give you the tools to either just remain engaged or to have some activities to do with recruiting. Everyone in this community should make an effort to find at least one other member and bring them in, especially in the month of March. I want to find a way to reward those members that have gone out and done something unique, and that uniqueness is, bringing one additional new member to SBC. You could bring 2, you could bring 3. I'm going to think about how I can reward that. I'm already rewarding it with 1,000 SBC, and I know a lot of people are like, well, I can't do anything with SBC right now, but you will. And what you're building for, what you're building up to, can happen very soon, can happen very quick, but it will only happen as quick as we get to our 10,000 member count. So as we're going through this presentation, I'm not gonna go through too much more of the detail, but I want to get to this graphic, and I want to make sure that it's very clear and very understood. So contributing to the shared bounty program, it's a commitment. It's something that you have to start, and you have to keep doing it. If you contributed in the first month and then decided that you weren't going to contribute in the second month, or the third month, and then you come in the fourth month, well, guess what month you're still in? You're still in the first month. These are consecutive months. So as it is with the donation program previously, if you donate daily, you earn rewards. The same thing is going to happen through the shared bounty program. So in order for you to maintain your status in the shared bounty program, in order for you to be able to receive something out of the shared bounty program, you simply need to participate month after month after month. And I know in the first month it says that you might receive 0. In the second month you receive $1.10, and then $2.20, and then it keeps going up. But it will go up. It will go up as long as the membership count is going up. Now, again, when we go back to the dashboard, we see that the membership count that was participating did not go up. So there were some members that chose to go the SBC Lite route, but so far that has been about 120 members. There were still 800 or some odd members of our shared bounty that decided that they weren't going to trust and they weren't going to go forward, even though we gave them all of the information that they needed to know and how the shared bounty program works. And that's understandable. It's unfortunate, but it's understandable. We just need to understand that this program takes a little bit of time to work, and based on the schedule, this is not exactly how it will work. This is how it will work if growth is sustained. So if we had hit the same amount of participating members, this is what you would see. This is not what happened, because this is not, we did not maintain those levels. But you can see the shared bounty bonus over here on the projection. That can increase when our membership increases. It can increase significantly. In fact, everybody who is participating in the shared bounty program right now, if they were to go out and bring one additional new member in for this coming month into the shared bounty program, I can guarantee you that your shared bounty payout would be at least double what it is now, or at least you'll receive something if you've been participating for 2 or 3 months. Guaranteed. It's there. The program works. The concept works. It's kind of like herding cats, unfortunately. We have to get the news out there. There's a lot of members that have been misled, maybe, or maybe not given the exact details of how the shared bounty program works. But we have a presentation on the February 7th blog. We have documentation now on how it works. And we have numerous videos of members discussing how it works. Now, one of the things that really kind of frustrated me was there are a lot of members who did receive a significant and decent amount of shared bounty in the last month. Where were their voices? Well, I can tell you where their voices were. Their voices were silent, mainly because they found a secret way of earning money. But they don't understand that they're going to earn that regardless. Nobody's going to take it away from them. So if you earn $20 or $30 or $100 or $1,125 in shared bounty. You should be singing it to the stars, singing it to the sky, letting everyone hear you that you received that bounty. Even if you only receive $1.10, you should tell them that the system works and show them that next time it can be better so that we can increase the numbers and then it will be better. You're guaranteed to increase as long as these things are increasing. So our membership needs to increase, participation needs to increase, and we need to have a strong, grounded understanding of how the shared bounty program works. So as a recap, contribute and make your SBCBO active. You're going to receive 1,000 SBC coins, not 200. You're going to receive an instant bounty of $10 if you're a sponsor. And you'll receive funds called the shared bounty. If you have no referrals, you can receive up to $280. If you have 1 to 4 referrals, you can receive up to $280. If you have 5 referrals and up, you unlock 2 additional tiers of the tree, and you can receive up to 1,125 USD. So that's the shared bounty program in a nutshell. And go back to the dashboard. So this document is right here on the dashboard, so you can go ahead and take and read into that. So I did cover a little bit about the private bank. I think I'm going to stop sharing at this point and go over the other details. So let's see if I can figure out how to stop. Okay. So the SBC private bank, what happens when we're going to hit the 10,000 members? So when we hit the 10,000 members, that's when I'm going to go to our sponsors. And these are different sponsors than SBC sponsors. These are the sponsors that are going to help us set up our legal structure. They're going to help us set up the SBC private bank, and they're going to work on funding it. These sponsors require us to have a certain membership count. That membership count for me is 10,000 members. This is not negotiable. This is not something that, oh, well, we might be able to do it with 8,000 members or whatever. This is the bare minimum. This is the bare minimum. So 10,000 members, if I can show that we had rapid growth to 10,000 members, I can go to our sponsors and I can say, they're ready, we're ready, let's do it. And when we do that, we're going to create our private structure, and that can take anywhere between 3 and 6 months. Now, during that 3 and 6 months, that doesn't mean that we relax and we sit back and whatever. During that 3 to 6 months, there's going to be a lot of activity going on. The first amount of activity is we are going to advertise. We are going to advertise on a daily basis the status of how we are proceeding with our legal structure. So that requires us to notify and put documentation out there into the world for countries and entities and whatnot to understand what we're declaring. So we're declaring that we're not in any opposition to them. We are not a threat to them. There's a lot of details, a lot of legal speak that we're going to push out into the hands of the people that we need to notify. Those people will either respond or they won't respond. If they respond, we will respond back, and then we wait. If they don't respond, then that is technically a response. They don't care. So we move forward, and we will have a schedule of who we're notifying, how we're notifying, and that takes that process. Now, it's not as simple as what I just said. It really isn't, and I'm not trying to pretend like I even know what that process is. I'm not a lawyer. I don't pretend to be. I don't play one on TV, and I am not going to be able to tell you exactly how any of that's going to happen. I won't be able to tell you that until it does. Once it starts happening, then I will be the first person to tell you, this is what's happening, this is how it's happening, and I will tell you everything that I am able to tell you at the time. So when we hit that 10,000 mark, that 10,000 mark is the starting point. That is the bare minimum that we have to get to. When we hit 10,000, that's when I go to the sponsors, and the sponsors say, let's start this. That's when we start our engine. We're filling up the gas tank, we're starting up our engine, and we're heading out for that long drive. Once we get that process more fleshed out, as we get to the end of the process, we're going to start working on the technology. We're not going to wait until the legal structure is done. We're not going to wait until the private bank is done before we start building the technology. And I have some ideas for the technology. The technology will obviously be an app that you can use on your phone, but there are some other ideas for the technology that I'm not going to reveal right now, but there will be some necessary components that need to be built in order for us to get to this point. So as the legal structure is proceeding, we get to a point where we can see the end of the process, when the legal structure will know, a couple months in, how much more, how longer it's going to take in order for us to finish that legal structure. So once we get to a point where we're good, and we can see the timing of when that legal structure finishes, then we can start the technology. We can start working on that technology so that it's ready when the bank is ready. And so we've got to get through that legal structure first. Then we attach the bank to that legal structure. And then we've already got the technology because we've been working on it for the last 6 months. So that is the extent of what I can tell you, because that is the extent of what I know. There is nothing more really to say on how that process is going to work, but I can tell you that I am a no-nonsense kind of guy. I don't dangle carrots out there and say, go get this carrot and then move it 100 feet away. That's not me. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not here for that. I'm here to tell you the facts. So 10,000 members is where we need to go. Very important that we all work on being a builder. I understand, again, if you can't afford your SBC VO, you want to be a part of it. There's SBC Lite, and even if you can't afford to be a part of it under either one of those circumstances, you can still be a builder. You can still bring other members in, and those other members that you bring in can supplement you into keeping yourself active. One thing I want to make a note of is that when we hit that 10,000 mark, that's when everyone is going to start getting super engaged. Once we announce that we're starting our legal structure and there's daily updates on that, it's gonna signal to all of our members, past and present and new, that we are really on our way to the promised land. We are on our way to that next step. And I believe that at that point, there's going to be a lot of members that are going to say, wow, they actually are on their way, and they'll give it a shot again. So some of those members that say, oh, I'll never touch SBC again for whatever reason. And I'm going to get into that point here in just a moment, but they're saying that they don't believe in our vision, and they don't believe in our goal. Don't waste your time with them. They'll see it. Let them see it. So as we go through our process and we hit our 10,000 mark, and then we turn around and show them that we have started our legal process, that's when the clock is ticking, guys. That's when the clock is ticking, and that's when any member who wants to be a part of this needs to get in, because I don't know if it's going to take 3 months. It might take 2. I don't know if it's going to take 2 months. It might take 6. It won't know, but we will have kind of a progress. We'll see the progress as we're going through that legal process. This person responded, that person responded, this company responded, or whatever. All of those responses will be posted on the dashboard. And when that dashboard is full of responses, timer stops. That's the crew. That's who goes into the SBC private bank. So anyone who comes in after that is going to have to wait for a period of time. And I don't know how long that period of time is. I'm not going to say, well, you'll have to wait a year. You might only have to wait 3 weeks. I don't know. It's up to the sponsors. It's up to the time. It's up to the circumstances of the time. So I don't want to promise you that you'll be granted access to the SBC private bank if you did not participate. I can't promise that. I can't promise you won't be granted access, but I can't promise you will be granted access, not at least on an immediate sense. So this is not a sense of urgency. This is a sense of absolute need. We need to get to our 10,000 goal. We need to maintain that 10,000 goal specifically during our legal structure build out. And I don't believe in any way, shape, or form that that's going to be a problem. I think that once we announce our legal structure, once we start that process, members are going to start coming back like crazy. They're going to be like, I want to be a part of this. I want to be a part of this. There's actually something happening. They can see it happening. We're going to show it to them. So with that, the next thing I wanted to go into is a member came to me on Telegram and told me that there's a Telegram group out there that was started by a former TBC member, and that member has been being rather derogatory and negative towards the TBC and SBC communities. But there's a reason why, and that has absolutely nothing to do with TBC and has absolutely nothing to do with SBC. It has nothing to do with the goals that we're trying to achieve. That person was upset at the former admin Jack. He's upset at admin Jack. He's not upset at us. He's not upset at TBC or SBC. He has a beef with the former admin, and that former admin is still a part of our community. He's still around. Whether or not he's participating or contributing, I don't know. I haven't talked to him in quite a while. He's decided to take a step back and watch us build what he started. But just because that one member had a grievance with the admin, that is the whole reason why the majority of our members are being told that TBC is a scam and SBC is a scam, and it's a waste of your time, and there's so much negativity towards it. Now, yes, there has been scamming in TBC and SBC. There were scams in the contests. There were scams in the exchange. We're well aware of those people, and we're watching those people. If they're a part of our community, we don't want them. We know who they are and where they are. So, those members who have done those things, they're not making it into the promised land with us. Not in the state that they think that they are. I know that there's sponsors out there, and there's former members that were very prolific in abusing this community, and I am very, very, very sorry that any of our members had any of those experiences. We're currently working on a program that I know that there are hundreds of thousands of members in our database, and those hundreds of thousands of members have lost their way because they've lost their shepherd. They've lost their guide. That guide is no longer participating. That guide is no longer willing to take advantage of everyone underneath, in their flock. But there are others who are willing to pick up the flock and shepherd them through to the next place. So what I'm hoping that we can do is we can understand that if you're encountering negativity in other groups, in the WhatsApp group and in the Telegram groups and in the Facebook groups, if you're encountering negativity, think very critically about where that negativity is coming from. Think about who they're focusing that negativity on. I might be the admin of SBC currently and presently, but I see myself as a founder. I see myself as a co-admin with the privy team, and again with our members. I don't look at myself as the all. I'm not God, and I don't pretend to be. Again, I don't play one on TV. I am not trying to be the overarching person who says what's going to happen here. I am leaving the decisions and the directions that we're taking largely up to the community, largely up to a democratic vote from the Privy Council and from our member helpers and from our Telegram group and the people who are communicating directly with me. I take in everything that I hear, and I hear concepts and ideas that I like. There's one concept that I went to the privy team yesterday with, and the privy team was unanimously in favor of sticking with the shared bounty program and finding another way to implement this other option. And this other option is it's something that I'm going to try and work on quietly behind the scenes, and then I'm going to introduce it to the community. And it's not going to be something that you're going to have to spend anything extra on. It's not going to be something that you're going to be disqualified for in any way. This is a brand new opportunity. This doesn't come from anything that previously Admin Jack had built. This is something completely brand new, and I'm very excited for it. I'm not going to say anything more about it because it's so in need of being determined out a little bit. But it is a crypto opportunity, and it's going to be a public crypto opportunity. That's all I'm going to say. I've mentioned it in the previous founders meeting, but it is something that I'm looking forward to. But as I said, unanimously, the privy team decided, and I agreed, that we would certainly continue forward with the shared bounty program. We're going to continue forward with our focus on SBC because we've never been closer. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to continue to say it. Even in the Telegram group, other members have said the same thing. We have never been closer to getting to our goal. Admin Jack had a lot of opportunities that he created, and unfortunately, Admin Jack thought that he had to do it all on his own. And I'm going to defend Admin Jack in that particular stance. The things that he put us through, the things that happened in our community, were put through there because he felt like he had to do it all on his own. He felt like he had to share the entire burden of the private community, and he did end up spending $50,000 on building a private community, which unfortunately is not the community we are anymore. But that private community cost $50,000 to build, so he took the proceeds from Kringle Cash and built that system with those funds. And unfortunately, that's not the direction that we went. That's not what happened. But a lot of those things, that's exactly how Admin Jack had to do things. He was building it because he thought he had to do it all on his own. We don't have to do it all on our own. The only thing we have to do is get back to 10,000 members. I was looking through the records for the SBC payouts and everything like that last year. We were, at this time last year, we had 51,000 members, 51,000 active members. I mean, that's astonishing. And at that time, there were starting to be problems with K-Love, and there were starting to be problems with other things, but we still had 51,000 active members. The members really still did believe in our process. Now, I know that we've gone through a lot of changes, and we've gone through a lot of issues specifically, but honestly, guys, we are almost there. We are so close that despite the fact that the shared bounty program has caused a lot of grief for some people over the last couple of times that we've run it, I think that this time through, the grief isn't going to be as bad. The next time that we have the shared bounty on April 6th, if we are working towards the goals of promoting the shared bounty program and getting us on our task to the 10,000 members, the shared bounty program is going to pay out for everyone that's involved. Specifically, if you, again, as I said earlier, if we were all to bring in one additional member to participate in the shared bounty program for the month of March, the shared bounty program will definitely be better than it's ever been. And if we continue to do that, it will get us to the point where the shared bounty program is absolutely wonderful. But fortunately, by the time we get to the SBC private bank, we won't need that shared bounty program anymore. We're going to be in the promised land, and that will be our reward. So let's focus on getting to 10,000 members. Remember that the other Telegram groups that aren't the official Telegram group Telegram group that I'm not in, those Telegram groups are out there to mislead and guide you away from what we're building. Those other members, those other Telegram groups, they built their own platform, they built their own direction, and they want you to follow them. And if that's what you want to do and that's how you want to do it, you can do it that way. But you come to me, and I'm not BSing anyone. I'm not trying to convince, and I'm not trying to manipulate any members. I'm not telling you a lie. I confronted that member personally and directly, and I'm waiting for a response from him. The way that he responds is going to tell me a lot. If he responds by saying, oh yeah, you're right, my beef is with Admin Jack, it's not with you, or it's not with SBC, and I'll stop bugging the SBC community. I'll stop downplaying and talking bad about the SBC community. If he comes to me and he says that, then that's wonderful. That's very genuine. If he doesn't come to me and he ignores me and continues to down talk SBC, then we know where the truth lies. I've told you what I've had to tell you, and somebody can probably already put 2 and 2 together and know who we're talking about. I'm not talking bad about Admin Jack, and I'm not talking bad about this other members or this other former member either. I have no beef with either of them. They have a beef with themselves, but our community should not suffer for their conflict. So that's the exciting news that I found. I know it sounds a little drama and kind of like crime scene mystery kind of thing, but that is the case. I feel a great burden has been lifted off of my back, because I know that the people who are out there talking bad about SBC are talking bad about it because they've got a problem with one person, and that isn't our community. So anyone who's talking bad about the SBC community, or anybody who's out there saying that we're scamming or whatever, they probably were a scammer themselves, or they have a problem with the former head of SBC, the former admin. But they don't have a problem with me. I haven't had any interaction with that person in any way to have any grievance whatsoever. I don't have any interaction with Admin Jack to have any grievance whatsoever either. So I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to sit on the fence in this situation either. Wrongs have been done, wrongs against our community, but I want to make sure that we understand that our community is strong, and it will be stronger if the members who are being led away realize that this person is really upset at one man and not our community and not our process. So why am I following that group? If you're not in our official Telegram group, you got to get into that group. And if you come into that group and start drama or start some kind of issue, you'll be booted out. But if you're going to be respectful, if you take a look at the pinned items in the Telegram group, it says right up at the very top, be respectful, be courteous, don't start any drama. And it's more of an informational group. The Telegram group is for me to be able to communicate with the members on a instant basis. As something comes up, as I post a blog, I can communicate with the Telegram group. That's where that works. So the last thing that I wanted to say was, I completely forgot what the last thing I was going to say was. I've been talking for a little while now, but I did want it to be a shorter thing. We're only going to take a couple of Q&As. We go ahead and end the video. Oh, it was about the app. So the app is still under development. I know I was kind of hoping to have it done by the 1st of March, but we will definitely get that app in its beta test sometime in this month of March. And then we'll get that out there. It'll be an APK that you can download from the website and put it onto your Android phone. Again, we're not ready to do iPhones. I know that there are some iPhone users out there, but the majority of us are Android users. So that's the app that we're developing. Doesn't make it easy to install apps on iPhone without going through their vetting process. So yeah, that was the last thing. So let's go ahead and end the recording. Let's take a couple of questions, and